Hi folks, welcome to my stay-at-home workout. Today, I'm going to work on a little bit of upper body push. So we're going to hit some push-ups with nice slow lowering to make things a little bit tougher. We're going to hit some bicep curls as well the same way. And we're going to do some hamstring curls as well to get a little bit of lower body work in there too. But before we get into that, let me show you what equipment I'm working with. Hopefully you got something similar. Today, just using this little resistance band, 1/2 inch in width. And then of course, I got my 10-pound ball as my weight. That's it. Besides this mat here, and I'm actually going to incorporate the couch as well. Now, what's nice about this couch is it's got space on the top and it's got space on the bottom. So if you got something like that, like a bench in a gym would be perfect, but probably you don't have that. But if you have a chair or something that's not going to move, that's going to be great, and I'll show you why. If you don't, no big deal. We can totally modify that exercise. What's also nice about this couch is it has a leg right in the middle that I can tie the band off to. So I'm going to incorporate that eventually as well. That's just a way to ramp up intensity on a certain exercise. And once again, if you don't have something like that, it's not going to be a big deal. You can still do the exercise. Okay, so before I get into any of that, though, I always start with a little bit of core bracing, all right? So 2 exercises coming at you. One is going to be a side plank variation called the Copenhagen side plank. And for the other one, I'm just going to do some, we're going to call them scapular shrugs. So a sort of plank variation that's going to open up the shoulders, the chest, and the upper back here. We're actually going to start with that one. So basically, you're going to get into a classic plank, forearm plank. All right, you want to be a nice straight line from the feet through the top of the head. You want to make sure the midsection's not sagging. You see how I sort of just tucked up my ribs there? That's the idea, and you want those shoulder blades protracting forward. You don't want to let your head sag. But now what we're going to do from this protracted position, we're actually going to retract the shoulder blades, bring them together, and then apart again. So we're going to do that 5 times, okay? Bringing them together and apart. All you're doing is bringing those shoulder blades together and pushing them apart. That's it. And relax there. The Copenhagen side plank, this is where this couch comes in handy here. I'm going to put 1 foot on top of the couch. I'm going to have 1 foot on the bottom. I'm going to hit a side plank from the elbow, and I'm going to be squeezing these feet toward each other the whole time. It's going to get a little bit of work for my adductors in there, which are those hip muscles that bring your legs together. Not a whole ton of ways to work those muscles even in the gym. So that's why I really like this exercise, because it gives us a chance to light up those areas that we don't hit too often. A few different ways you can do this. The tough way is right from the ankles. You can get a little closer and go from the shins, or even closer and go from the knees, and I'd recommend that if it's your first time trying this. And if you don't have a raised surface, it's real simple. You just do a side plank with your feet on the ground, either stacked on top or strided like so. Easy, okay? All right, from here, I'm going to bridge up at the hips. I'm going to keep a nice straight line here. This upper arm, my shoulder's going to be stacked right over my elbow. I'm going to be squeezing the shoulder in towards my torso to keep this area nice and tight. I'm going to be keeping my core tight, my ribs down, nice straight line right through the top of my head here, okay? I'm going to bridge up, keep those ribs down. I'm squeezing in here with that elbow, tighten this whole area. I'm squeezing these legs together too. I'm going to try for approximately 20 seconds here, all right, guys? So we're already about halfway there. If it helps, you can point your toes up. I find it helps to keep a little bit of tension in the legs there. And relax. Now I'm just going to flip around here, so you're going to be looking at my back. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, okay? So you want to be 1 foot on top, 1 foot below, or 1 knee on top, however you're doing it. Going to bridge up at the hips. Nice straight line. Tight in here. Ribs down. Nice tight core. Point those toes if it helps you. Don't forget to squeeze that bottom leg up towards that couch or that bench or chair. A few more seconds. And relax. All right, we're going to do each of those exercises 1 more time, and then we'll have a nice 360 degrees of core bracing going on. Plus, our shoulders will be awake, alive, ready to go, and we got a little lower body work in there too. So these are a couple of very efficient exercises. That's why I like to start with them. All right, let's get into that plank position. Once again, nice straight line. Make sure your butt's not popping. Make sure the midsection's not sagging. Tuck in those ribs. And from here, we start in that protracted shoulder blade forward position. We bring them back, like opening and closing the wings. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And that's 5. Notice what we're not doing there, even though we call them scapular shrugs, it's just the scapula that are shrugging. We're not doing like a traditional shrug where the shoulders come up around the ears. That's not the idea. We want to keep showing neck as we bring those things back and forward. See what I'm saying? It's not up and down. And that's a good note for a lot of different exercises. I'm sure I'll hit that point again at some point. Okay. Once again, we're going to hit that Copenhagen side plank. Going to hold it for 20 seconds per side. Whatever variation you're doing, it's all good. Bridging up. Squeezing in with that elbow. Squeezing those legs together. Keeping that neutral spine. That's why we want to think ribs down, because if we let that rib cage flare, we're going to get a little arch here, which we don't want. Let's relax. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Bridging up. Squeezing in with that elbow. Point those toes if it helps you. Squeezing up with that lower leg. That's the tough part, I find. A few more seconds. Relax. All right, folks. Grab a little water if you need it. Take a little breather, and we'll talk about how we're going to do the next part. So 3 exercises, traditional push-ups, but with a slow, controlled lower. So we're slowing down the tempo to get a little bit of extra intensity into our workouts to help us build muscle without actually increasing weight or using, machines or high-tech equipment or anything like that. Just trying to keep it as simple, as efficient as possible. We're going to hit 8 reps of that. Then we're going to move right into a bicep curl, which you can do a million different ways. You can do it with dumbbells if you like. I'm actually going to do it with a resistance band, and I'm going to do it in this tall kneel position, mostly so I can remain in the frame. Also, I like the tall kneel position because it introduces a bit of a core element because I got to keep those hips locked out and those ribs down, right? Then after that, I'm going to do some lying hamstring curls. So I'm going to lie on the front, and with the weight, a dumbbell is actually most convenient for this. If you have one, you're going to curl it with the hamstrings. Makes sense, right? Okay. And it's going to be 8 reps of each exercise. We're going to do 3 sets total. We are going to work a little bit of a cardio element in there, but we are going to take more rest than we would do if we were working for like endurance. So we do want to give our muscles a chance to recover in between exercises here. Okay, so push-ups. First of all, the way we're doing these, we're going to have a 45-degree angle of the upper arm to the torso. We're not out here, and we're not in here. This is more about triceps. This is more about shoulders. This is more about pectorals, all right? Kind of right in the middle. That's like classic push-up there. Same deal with that plank, where we're going to keep the midsection tucked. We're going to keep the butt from popping up in the air. Going to be a nice straight line through the top of the head. You don't want to let the head droop. It's going to be tough on the lower. The midsection is going to want to sag a little bit, so you want to keep those ribs tucked. It's definitely going to be a challenge. If this just sounds a little too intense, here's what you can do. Rather than doing the push-up part, you just do the controlled negative. So you just do the lower, you hit the ground, and then you just reset, and then you lower again, okay? You get it? Just in case 8 push-ups with a negative is a little bit too challenging, which is totally cool. All right, so we're going to start down here. I'm going to sort of screw the base of my palms into the ground. See how that kind of tightens up the lats? That's good because that's going to help me control that lowering movement, all right? But I'm going to start down here, okay? Pushing up. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4 count. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 We got 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. So you can see how you add that negative makes those 8 push-ups a hell of a lot tougher. Now, we're going to try the same thing with a bicep curl. Here's how I'm going to get my curl set up, in case you've got similar equipment here. I'm actually going to kneel on both parts of that band. I'm going to grab the band like so. Actually, I'll back up a bit so you can see me a little more properly. And from here, with my elbows tucked into the side, my ribs down, my hips locked out, I'm not going to swing, I'm not going to arch that back. I'm going to isolate that movement to the biceps. Just like that, and then a slow lower. 1, 2, 3, 4 to full extension. Just like that. So that's the idea. You're pretty quick on the up, but on the lower, you're slow and controlled for a 4 count. And we're going to do 8 of these, okay? All right, ribs down. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Slow, 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 slow. Last 2. Slow, 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 slow. That's it, that's 8. So once again, kind of milking the exercise for all it's worth without actually upping the intensity of our weight or our tension. All right, last one here of the 3 is going to be those lying hamstring curls. So with a dumbbell, this will be much easier. But I'm going to try it with a ball. I've done it before, it's a lot of fun, but the ball does tend to like to roll away on you. You're going to lie on your front. Notice I got the weight between my ankles. Now if you got a dumbbell here, you're just going to hook the handle between your ankles, and one part of the bell will be on top of the feet and one part will be below the feet, and that should be nice and comfortable for you, but take a second to get that set up. I'm going to put my forehead on my hands here, so I'm not kissing the ground. I'm going to get that ball in between the ankles. I'm going to point the toes towards the top of the feet. I'm going to make sure my hips are down and my butt's down. I don't want to let my butt pop. All right, from here, I'm doing a little curl, a little squeeze of the glutes at the top. Just going to be like that, but on the way down, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to notice with that slow lower, the butt's really going to want to pop off the ground. So you got to keep pressing down through the hips and keeping that area glued to the ground, okay? If the butt pops, then you're probably arching in your lower back, which once again is not good. Okay, we're going to do 8 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow, 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 slow. That's 4. Slow, 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 slow. That's 5. Slow, 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 slow. 6. Slow, 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 slow. What did I tell you? All right, one more. Up. Slow, 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 slow. And relax in there. Now we're actually going to take a nice little break, about 45 seconds, maybe even a minute. We want to give ourselves a chance to recover there. What's nice about those 3 exercises together is that they are non-competitive. So the muscles that you're working with the push-up are different than those in the bicep curl, and just as different as those in the hamstring curl. So you can do those 3 together with fairly minimal rest between them, but it is definitely nice to take a nice big rest here before we hit those same muscle groups again for the second time. Okay, the push-ups, the bicep curls, and the hamstring curls we're going to keep all just the same on this second set. On the third set, I'm going to spice things up a bit with a couple of those exercises by adding additional elements, and you can join me in that or not. Totally up to you. It's all good either way, but if you're looking for more of a challenge, I will present one. All right, I'm going to hit these push-ups. Nice, slow, controlled lower once again. This time, I'm not going to count it out. I'm just going to do it. I'll count in my head, and you can count along with me, all right? So it's basically just a 4 count on all those lowers. We don't want to pause at the top or bottom, and we want to come up at your own pace, but fairly quickly, as sort of a normal speed. Okay, so we're going to screw the base of our palms into the ground. Going to make sure we're in a nice straight line. Going to actually start at the bottom with this one. Going to keep those ribs tucked. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one. And relax. All right, we got bicep curls up next. Once again, you can do these standing, do these with dumbbells. You can even do one arm and then the other arm. It's all good, really. Each exercise variation has a little bit of a different benefit. Once again, I like this one because of the core engagement and the hip engagement. All right, so just going to be a lower on a 4 count, and I'll leave the 4 count to you. You can just mirror what I'm doing, okay? We're going to do 8 of these as well. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and then we got those hamstring curls. Hopefully this ball doesn't slip out between my ankles here. Getting a little sweaty, so I'll blame it on that. All right, gonna lay on your front. Make sure you're cushioning your head there. Gonna get that weight nice and snug. You wanna point those toes, keep those hips down, keep that butt tight, especially at the top of the rep. Slow, controlled, lower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, nice little breather here before we get into our third and final round. So while we're resting here, I'll talk about how I'm going to upgrade the intensity on the push-ups, which is I'm going to incorporate a band. I'm going to basically band it up just like that. This band, of course, is both going to add extra resistance as I try to push up, and then it's going to want to pull me down quicker than that slow 4 count that I want to maintain. The bicep curl, I'm going to keep just the same. I will widen out my stance a little bit in terms of my knee position and give a little bit more tension on the band, but otherwise the same totally. And then when we get to the hamstring curl over here, I'm going to replace the ball with a band that I'm going to tie off to the leg of this couch. And what's cool about the band in terms of the hamstring curl, the resistance changes based on how far you are away from the anchor point. So right at the bottom, it's going to feel pretty easy compared to the ball, but then when I get up to that top, it's going to really want to pull me down fast. And that's what's going to make that controlled lower really interesting, because it's really going to want to pull me here, and then it's going to want to, like, it lightens off there. So it's a real control exercise, okay? And you'll see how that gets interesting. If you've got a dumbbell, you could actually loop the other end of the band around that dumbbell. It's kind of hard to do with the ball, otherwise I'd probably try incorporating that too, but this ball has betrayed me before, so I'm not going to trust it. Okay, time to get into those push-ups. Here's what we're going to do. I put my thumbs through, I wrap it around the lats basically. It's nice and snug just under the shoulder blades there, and then I just kind of have it, you know, around the hands, underneath the elbows. Otherwise, I'm going to do the same thing, okay? I'm going to screw my hands into the ground,
I'm gonna start up like this. Nice, actually I'm gonna start at the bottom. All right, pushing up and then I control lower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see how that ups the ante big time. All right, last time on these bicep curls. See, I'm widening out my stance just a little bit. I'm gonna just give a little more tension on that band. All right, make sure it's even. It's not quite even. All right, here we go. That's just control lower. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let me show you. I'm going to choke the band. So I'm just going to wrap it around and then pull it through itself, just like that. Then I'm going to put it around my feet and I'm going to sort of clamp my ankles together. It's going to be a little bit tricky to get set up here. I'm going to move a little bit further away so that I do start with a wee bit of tension. All right? That's going to be kind of tough. All right, I'd have to start with a little bit of an angle there just so it doesn't fall off my ankles. I'm going to point those toes out. All right, from here up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's the last one. We're going to keep it up there. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep the hips down. Keep the glutes tight. Stay. We got 5 more seconds. Now, control lower. 1, 2, 3, 4. And relax. Surprised you there with that last one, eh? But that pump that you get is pretty awesome. Well, good work, folks. Thank you for joining me in my stay-at-home workout. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of this, doing this 6 days a week until this quarantine ends. Thank you, and please take care of yourself, recover, and rest up. Until tomorrow.